renaming all the parks and all the hospitals in Glasgow after types of biscuits and cakes instead of royal family members. But more on that later, because we've actually got a breaking news story for you just now that we want to bring to you live on You Call That Radio. You may have already heard about the storm incident last week where an inflatable duck egg exploded all over Dennistoun, leaving a trail of tiny boys littered across the East End. Well, there's been some developments, and I believe we can go live to our roving reporter, who I believe is outside somewhere between Duke Street and Alexandra Parade, to tell us more.
Hello there. Hi, I'm reporting from Dennistoun, where I've encountered the worst scandal you could possibly imagine of 2025. There is a community split right down the middle because of something that happened during the storm of last week. I was witness to this event myself. I saw a giant duck flying through the air, which crashed all over the place, wreaking havoc upon the people of Dennistoun and eventually exploding into tiny little particles which now lay everywhere in Dennistoun like a creepy sleet.
Why is there wind? I can hear wind just now. I mean, surely the storm's stopped now. I mean, I'm actually in Dennistoun myself, and it seems quite a nice day.
Well, it's a very interesting turn of events. The Musselburgh Association for Dramatic Reenactments has joined us. That's the DRAM, the Dramatic Reenactments Association Musselburgh. These are an independent investigation body team who come and they research and reenact disasters. And right now, at the moment, they've got a giant wind turbine loaded up with a giant inflatable duck filled with little balls, ready to launch.
The Disaster Reenactment
Association,
Archaeology Musselburgh Association. Yeah, okay, yeah, I know them well.
They're here on the scene. They've got, with them, they've brought a giant inflatable duck, a giant inflatable egg, and several mannequins, which will all be launched out of this huge wind turbine, which is very powerful, and that's what you can hear in the background. They're ready to go. Here it goes. Oh, look at this. Oh, a giant inflatable duck just soaring through the sky.
Okay, it's a bit noisy over there. We'll come back to you. Be safe. We'll come back to you. In the meantime, what I want to do is get some perspective of the people that actually live there. So let's just go to one of the neighbours who witnessed this all last week. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm an anonymous participant.
All right, okay. And what was your first impressions of the exploding duck incident?
It's a bloody disaster. As you know, Marcus, Dennistoun has been inundated with a veritable tsunami of forever balls. I moved to Glasgow to take advantage of the reasonable house prices and was willing to accept a certain amount of interaction with larger-than-life local characters, but this absolute cascade is ridiculous. They're made of polystyrene, Marcus. Polystyrene.
But in the interest of fairness, what I would like to do is get another anonymous participant who actually doesn't agree with this anonymous participant. It's just so there's a bit of balance. So we're going to hear from both sides of your story.
I think it's a travesty, personally. I bought many a kitchen from Mr. Cornelius over the years, and I find that the quality of his kitchens, his bathrooms are excellent. I'm not one for conspiracy theories, but I would say that I think it's an inside job, personally. I think that some deviousness has gone on within our beloved community. I won't point fingers at any one in particular, but I know a certain peeping Tom who likes to get stuck in.
There has been concerns about how detrimental this might be to the environment. Is this your issue with Connie's kitchens and big duck bathrooms? Is the issue with the environment, or is it more of an eyesore issue?
My concerns are primarily environmental. These balls are killing the fish so that they will never swim. These balls are killing disturbing endangered nesting birds so they will never fly. These balls are killing the trees so that they will never grow, and I just don't understand why the alarm bells aren't ringing. They're going to make their way up the food chain and wipe out apex predators. These balls, Marcus, the bloody things, they're like microplastics, but much, much bigger.
Well, he says that essentially his tiny balls are biodegradable. I absolutely believe that inherently. As far as I'm concerned, he's undeniably reliable as Mr. Cornelius. They will go at some point. You don't walk down the street and see plastic everywhere these days. It gets put in a bin and it gets put somewhere else. The balls will do the same. This will all be gone. It'll all be over with in a few weeks' time.
That you actually tested the tiny balls in the lab.
I've had these balls tested. They're definitely plestrine. They're in no way biodegradable. Whichever scientist is claiming this is a quack, no pun intended. No, I've not had them tested in a lab as such, but my 3-year-old ate several handfuls and shat them out, which tells you everything you need to know.
How can Connie make it up to the community?
I think the question is how can the community make it up to Connie? Mr. Cornelius is absolutely a victim. We've got to remember this. It was his duck that exploded everywhere. His hard-earned money purchased that duck. And do you know why I bought a kitchen from him? It was because of that duck.
Can I ask the same question to the other anonymous participant?
I think Seaback, a.k.a. Connie's bathrooms and kitchens, a.k.a. the very devil himself, should be exiled from the city and legally prevented from re-entering Glasgow. I'd go so far as to say that the council should instate some manner of licensing system in order to better regulate the Wild West, lawless world of bathroom and kitchen retail, and indeed fitting, because it's sheer bloody anarchy at the moment. Anarchy.
Some say that it was an act of God, and some say it was an act of duck vandalism. Now, I'm here to try and figure out who's right, and at the moment, it's looking split right down the middle. It could have been God, but it could have also been the neighbourhood watch, who actually hate the giant duck and thought it was an eyesore and didn't want to see it there.
This is incredible.
They didn't want it to exist.
Where are you getting your sources from?
Well, I've just been going door to door. I wouldn't want to comment, and anything that happened was certainly nothing to do with me. But I would say that if an upright citizen, a resident of the area, were to have taken matters into their own hands, Luigi Mangione style, then I would say that man would also be a hero. But I want to underline that it was definitely nothing to do with me.
So you would be, if it did transpire that this was an inside job, someone from the neighbourhood watch deliberately vandalised Connie's van, Connie's ducks, the big duck, you would be for that?
I would say yes. I would say it was a long time coming. I mean, I've lived here for 7 months now. I'm a long-term resident of the area, and enough's enough.
Is it available every day at 10 o'clock at Lacala for a square go? Should you want to do that?
I don't even know what a square go is.
Some people seen that as a threat. Would you agree with that, or?
Only if they've got something to be threatened by, is how I would take that. Personally speaking, if they feel that's a threat, then that's on them. Ultimately, all he's doing is saying, I'm here. I'm telling you my tiny balls are biodegradable. If you don't believe me, we can come and have a chit chat about it.